Novak Djokovic just won his 10th Australian Open. He now has 22 Grand Slams, same as Rafael Nadal, the highest ever in the history of men's tennis. He is also back to being the world #1, a position he's held for a record 373 weeks. Now, if you're a tennis fan, you already know these facts, and more perhaps. Tonight, I'm not going to talk about his tennis or his greatness. That is well documented. I want to talk about the grit that led to this greatness. How a young boy from war-torn Serbia came to rule the tennis world. How he made his name in an era dominated by Roger Federer and Rafael Nadal. Djokovic had a tough childhood. It was his training ground, you could say. He says those hardships instilled in him a fighting spirit. Today, he's famous for that spirit. Today, he earns millions of dollars and is among the richest tennis players in the world. But there was a time when his family did not even have a single euro. This is what he said last year in Turin, and I'm quoting from what he said. "I went through a difficult childhood, and I know what it means to have €0 in a family of 5 people. Let's not forget where I come from and that my childhood was marked by war. I believe that everything that I have earned has been done with the sweat of my brow." Novak Djokovic was born in 1987 in Serbia. His childhood was a turbulent one. In those years, Serbia was a part of Yugoslavia. The country saw a violent disintegration. The Republic of Serbia, as we know it today, was formed only in the year 2006. A young Djokovic saw brutal military action, civil strife, ethnic cleansing. Many people were killed then. Those who survived were forced to flee. Djokovic has talked about all of this. When he was 12 years old, he hid in the shelter of his grandfather's apartment along with his family. This was during the bombing of Belgrade in 1999. Let me quote from what he said. "We would come to this building every single night because our building did not have a shelter. People would just hide in corners and try to find a safe place. It was a horrifying experience for everyone." Well, that was then. Today, his life is very different. Today, Novak Djokovic can have anything that he wants. But there was a time when he had to queue up to get water. He says, and I'm quoting again, "My upbringing was in Serbia during several wars during the 1990s. It was a difficult time where we had to wait in line for bread, milk, water, and other basic things in life." On the tennis court, Djokovic is known for his mental strength and his never give up attitude, even when the odds are stacked against him. But then he had learned at a very young age how to beat the odds and survive, and these early life lessons have stood him in good stead in his career. Initially, these experiences also made him very bitter. He says he learned how to channelize that anger to his advantage. "I use that anger in a way that fuels me to be successful in tennis," he said. When he started this tennis career, he was a prankster, overshadowed in an era of great rivalry, the one between Roger Federer and Rafael Nadal. He was always good, but not as great as the other two. Few thought that one day he will not just challenge them, but also break their records.
I think there's still a lot of that fire inside of me that is burning, of passion for the sport and for competition, and I think that's what allows me to still push myself to the limit, also in the practice sessions and day in, day out, after so many years, to go through same routines repetitively that sometimes is not so interesting, I would say, but I know that there is always a greater goal and a guiding star, so to say, and this trophy is one of those guiding stars. It's something that I always strive to achieve.
His journey has been about survival, about adapting and changing course, which is exactly what he did in the year 2010. That's when he switched to a gluten-free diet. He was having way too many physical breakdowns in matches. Then a doctor told him it could be a wheat allergy. He dropped gluten from his diet. It led to a massive transformation in his game and stamina, and the rest, as they say, is history. It sounds easy, but imagine the kind of discipline this takes. And why are we discussing his diet and his history? To see the sweat behind the glory. A boy from war-torn Serbia overcame his difficult childhood to achieve phenomenal success. The talent and trophies are there for the world to see, but only a few know of the trauma and the tears, and the years of struggle that fueled this champion. The grit behind the glamour is often overlooked, because many would like to believe that superstars are born. The truth is, Most superstars are made, not born.